We have an awesome card on Saturday, UFC 266. If you watch all my videos, you're going to understand this intro. We lost a fight already. Manny Ferro out. We had a weight class change. Robbie Lawler up to 185. And then we have a last-minute opponent. We have Brundage fighting Maximov. Last-minute opponent, couple changes. Everybody may wait. All is good. No fights dropped after weigh-ins. I'm going to walk through my Monkey Knife Fight picks and plays for the evening. And a couple of things. You guys were complaining about the lines this week. Oh my God, these lines are so hard. I don't know what to do. I agree. These are tough lines this week. So instead of going fight by fight, what I'm going to do is we're going to mess around with some slates. The slates are where you can find two fighters in different fights, get a really good line, put them together, and have a much more confident pick than you have a fight against each other. So we're going to mess with some slates. We're going to make something happen in there. Don't forget, wewantpicks.com/MKF. You will get your instant deposit match up to $100. You give them 50, they give you 50. You give them 100, they give you 100. You can play with the free money, win, and then continue to win with that money. If you have never deposited before, if you are brand new, you haven't signed up yet, go to wewantpicks.com/MKF. Right there, you will see a link to jump into a free contest. Costs you literally nothing, and you can play. It's basically the equivalent of a $5 contest. If you win, it's just the main event, more or less on the strike line. They'll pay you $12.50 for nothing, free, to encourage you to play. wewantpicks.com/MKF. Click on a link, get your free money, play your free contest, and enjoy. Follow along, easiest thing in the world. When I do slates, I start with the all day, and then I narrow it down from there. So what slates are is there's just different options. One, we have Knockout Kings, which we'll talk about. And two, you can parlay fighters against each other. Work your way all the way up 6x6 for 20 times your money. So let's take a look. We'll get to the Knockout Kings last. My favorite thing is rapid fire. Let's grab a rapid fire. What this does is this is two different fighters, completely different fights, and all I need to do is say who is going to land more strikes. So this is saying Alex Volkanovski versus Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz is getting 12.5 strikes. So Alex Volkanovski needs to land more strikes than Nick Diaz, and Nick Diaz is starting at 12.5. Alex is starting at 0. This is an interesting one because they're both 5-round fights. I think the Volkanovski fight goes all 5 rounds. The Nick Diaz fight, listen, earlier in the week, I would have said, yes, it goes all 5 rounds. Now, I don't know. A bunch of crazy stuff has happened this week, but 12.5 strikes is a lot of strikes. Nick Diaz does have crazy volume. I think a lot of weird stuff going on with Nick Diaz right now, but listen, I'll take the 12.5. I will take the 12.5. So I'm going to grab Nick Diaz over Alex Volkanovski. And then next we have Marab Davishvili versus Brian Ortega. Listen, Marab is fighting an interesting fight because he man, that's tricky. So Marab is probably going to get a bunch of takedowns against Marlon Moraes' opponent, have solid control time, and make something happen. He should win from there. He is my pick to win. I'm very confident in him. I have him in a parlay. But on top, he may land elbow, 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 punch, 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 elbow. But that's a 3-round fight. Brian Ortega in a 5-round fight, 13.5 strikes. I got to go with Brian Ortega. He's getting strikes. It is a 5-round fight. I don't think there's going to be much grappling in Brian's fight. There will be some in Marab's. And Marab could potentially get finished by an incredibly tough Marlon Moraes. I'm going with both underdogs here. So pretty confident in that because we got a 5-round fighter over a 3-round fighter, should be striking. The only thing that makes me a little nervous is Marab on top, just an absolute animal going crazy. And this is every single strike. But listen, 13.5, 2 extra rounds. You got to go with the underdog. So I have Nick Diaz, Brian Ortega in my rapid fire. Let's go back. So I always love rapid fires. And now my second favorite lines to play when we do the slates are the 3 for 3s. Let's jump into a 3 for 3. And you can 5 times your money if you wait till fight day, but these lines can move. So if you love a line, hit it before it moves. We have Valentina Shevchenko more or less than 100. I'm going to go less. I do think, I have a bet on the over on rounds. Lauren Murphy is super tough, but 100 strikes, That is a lot. And I see Valentina Shevchenko probably finishing somewhere, maybe the 3rd round, 4th round stoppage. And if she is just absolutely touching up Lauren Murphy that whole time, it'll finish earlier than that. I like the less. If you want the more, I get it. I do like the less there. Brian Ortega, 95.5. I'm probably going to go the less there too, because I do think there's a good amount of striking, but Volkanovski should beat him to the punch. This is not the same as when he fought Korean Zombie, who he had a clear advantage over. I think Volkanovski should be faster, should get there sooner. So I'll take the less on 95.5 there. And then Dan Hooker, less there. That one, I think that, first of all, I think there's a stoppage. Second of all, it's only 3 rounds. So I've got the less there. I'm not logged in, but as soon as we're done filming, I'm going to play this one. I'll do $10 less across the board. 10 to win 40. If you wait till tomorrow, you can get 10 to win 50. But I wouldn't wait, because these lines are going to move and get even tougher. Well, look at the next one. They have 2 different 3-for-3s. If you don't like a line, it's very easy. Go back and let's do Slates All Day prelim card. And this is only going to be the preliminary card, the exact same slates, but only the preliminary card. So let's go ahead and do our rapid fire at 3 times. We're going to do Marab and Dan Hooker, Roxanne and Nasrat. Oof. I'll do Roxanne over. Oh, man, that's a hard one. Marab and Dan Hooker. I'm going Marab. And now this one is interesting because this could end up a slugfest, right? Daniel Hooker, Nasrat could be a slugfest. I think Nasrat's going to put him out, but Dan Hooker's tough as hell. So there may be some solid back and forth. What makes this tricky is I'm 100% positive that Roxanne will go to a decision. Now, how effective will she be in that decision is the big question mark. So Nasrat's getting the extra strikes. I'm positive it'll be a striking match. I think hers will too. I'm going to go with Roxanne because Roxanne I know is going to go to a decision. Nasrat should get a knockout. This will be a striking battle between the two of them, but I think Roxanne's will be too. I don't see her opponent taking her down. She's not going to execute a takedown. So I'm going Roxanne over to get more strikes than Nasrat, and Marab to get more strikes than Dan Hooker. That should go well, honestly. And the 3-for-3s here are 5 times your money. So here's a 5 times your money. Let's take a look. Marab, 109, let's say less. Dan Hooker, 91 less. Roxanne, 87. Yikes. 87's a hard line. Let's say less. 5. I'm going to play this one. 5 times your money, less on all 3 of these. I'm pretty confident in that. Let's go back. The last thing we'll do is Knockout Kings. Slates all day. Knockout Kings you definitely want to do all day because you can pick any 3 fighters on the entire card. Why would you narrow your window? So all you need to do is grab the 3 people who are most likely to win by knockout or technical knockout. Then you can play 1, you can play 2, or you can play 3, and the odds change accordingly. I always play 1 because it's basically free money. If you want to do 2, this is probably the card to experiment. So I'm going to do Shevchenko. We will grab Marab. And then there's a lot of options here. You can go with Nasrat. And honestly, I'm very high on Nasrat this week. If I go Nasrat, I'll take out Shevchenko. And then I'm going to go, where's my buddy Dawkins? I'm going to go Dawkins. But the reality is that fight is probably going to end in a stoppage no matter what. Chris or the other guy. One of them is going to get stopped. And because you only need 1, 2, or 3, we never do the 3. So because you only need 1 or 2 knockouts, you can pick 2 people in the same fight. So if you're just going for 1 knockout, you're going to get 25% net profit, and you're only going for 1 knockout. I don't think it's a bad play to put Chris Dawkins and, come on, where are you at? Shamil Abdurakhimov. But put them both in here because if that fight ends by KO or TKO, which it should, then you win. Simple. You can do 2 people in the same fight. So this is my more confident Knockout Kings. Feel free to follow along. wewantpicks.com/MKF. Promo code WWP gets you an instant deposit match up to $100. And if you are brand new, you haven't signed up yet, Go play the free contest. It costs you literally nothing, and they will pay you to play. So don't be hesitant. You watch these videos every week. You've never signed up. Sign up now while they're doing the free promo. wewantpicks.com/MKF. I'll see you guys Saturday.